In the quiet theater of the cosmos, where stars are born and die in hushed explosions of light, there exists a myth. It is a story not of thunderous gods or epic wars, but of a single man and a single stone. It is a story that breathes with the rhythm of eternity, a lullaby for the restless mind. His name was Sisyphus. Imagine, if you will, a world bathed in the soft, eternal twilight of the underworld. There is no sun here, nor moon, but a gentle, pearlescent glow that emanates from the very air itself, casting long, slow-moving shadows. The landscape is one of rolling hills, sculpted not by water or wind, but by the passage of endless time. The silence here is profound, a deep and resonant quiet that is not empty, but full. It is the silence of stone, of dust, of patience, and in the heart of this silent land, there is a hill. It is not a menacing peak, not a jagged cliff face, but a long, patient slope that rises towards the luminous haze of the sky. Its surface is worn smooth by a single repeating journey. At the foot of this hill stands Sisyphus. He is not a figure of torment, as you might imagine him, his face contorted in a mask of agony. No. See him instead as a study in concentration. His form is lean, etched with the effort of his ages, his muscles like the gnarled roots of an ancient olive tree. His skin is dusted with the fine, pale soil of the hill. He stands before his companion, his burden, his purpose. The boulder. It is a magnificent stone, almost perfectly round, the color of a storm cloud at dusk. Its surface is not rough, but polished to a dull sheen by the touch of his hands over countless millennia. It has faint, swirling patterns within it, like galaxies trapped in granite. It is immense, heavy with the weight of its own geology, heavy with the weight of his sentence. Now, watch as he begins. There is no sigh of resignation, no curse whispered to the silent gods. There is only the act itself. He places his shoulder against the cool, unyielding curve of the stone. He sets his feet in the soft dust, finding purchase in the familiar ground. And then, with a slow, deliberate gathering of strength, he pushes. The first movement is the hardest. It is the moment of pure inertia, the universe resisting change. A faint grinding sound, the only sound in this quiet world, breaks the silence as the stone stirs. It is the sound of grit on grit, of immense weight, surrendering to will. He pushes, and the boulder rolls. It moves at a pace that is almost imperceptible at first, the speed of a growing plant, of a shadow stretching in the afternoon. His breath is steady, a slow and rhythmic tide. Inhale, exhale. Each breath is a measure of the journey, a small engine powering the impossible task. His focus is absolute. He is not thinking of the summit, nor of the inevitable descent. He is thinking only of this single, eternal moment. The pressure of the stone against his shoulder, the strain in his thighs, the way the tiny pebbles shift and crunch under his feet. He is a universe of sensation, entirely present in his labor. The world shrinks to this small theater of effort. The vast, silent landscape fades into a soft, focused backdrop. There is only the man, the stone, and the slope. He knows every inch of this path. He knows the place where the ground softens slightly, requiring a greater push. He knows the small, almost flat ridge halfway up where he can, for a few precious seconds, ease the pressure and shift his stance. He knows the subtle curve near the top where the incline becomes cruelly steep. These are the landmarks of his existence, the geography of his fate. As he climbs, the pale light seems to concentrate, the air growing thinner, clearer. He can see the individual grains of dust that coat the boulder, each one a tiny, glittering world. He sees the faint lines on his own hands, maps of a life spent in this singular pursuit. He is not a king being punished. He is a craftsman at his work. His tool is his own body, his medium is the stone, and his creation is the slow, arduous line he traces up the face of the hill. Hours pass, or perhaps they are centuries. Time in this place does not march forward in a straight line. It pools and eddies, stretching and compressing. The only clock is the progress of the stone. Upward, ever upward. His muscles burn with a clean, familiar fire. Sweat traces paths through the dust on his skin. But there is no rage in this effort. There is a strange, quiet dignity. He has accepted the terms of his existence, and in that acceptance, he has found a peculiar kind of peace. He is not fighting the stone, he is dancing with it. A slow, grinding, eternal waltz. Finally, he senses the change, the resistance lessens, the summit is near. The air is luminous, and the very top of the hill seems to dissolve into the soft, glowing haze. With a final, monumental effort, a lifetime of strength condensed into a single moment, he pushes the boulder over the crest. For one glorious, suspended breath, it rests there, a perfect sphere balanced on the apex of the world. In this moment, Sisyphus is victorious. He has completed his task. He has conquered the hill. And then, with a slow, graceful inevitability, the boulder begins to roll. It tilts, hesitates, and then succumbs to the pull of the world. It tumbles down the other side, at first slowly, then gathering speed. It does not crash or thunder. The sounds are muted here. It is a deep, resonant rumble, a sigh from the belly of the earth. It rolls and rolls, a dark planet descending through a silent sky, until it comes to rest, with a soft thud that echoes in the stillness, at the very bottom of the hill, exactly where it began. The task is done. The cycle is complete. Now, this is the moment the gods, in their distant, cold calculus, believed to be the heart of his punishment. The moment of futility made manifest, the crushing realization of his endless, meaningless labor. They watch, imagining his despair, his spirit breaking anew each and every time. But the gods are poor psychologists. They do not understand the human heart. For now, Sisyphus is free. He stands at the summit, his body light, unburdened. The fire in his muscles cools to a pleasant warmth. A gentle breeze, which only ever stirs at the peak, touches his face, carrying with it the scent of dust and eternity. He straightens his back, a simple, profound pleasure. He is no longer pushing, he is no longer striving, he is simply being. And he begins to walk back down the hill. This is his hour. This is his kingdom. The walk down is a victory lap in a race no one else can see. His steps are light, his breathing is easy. The world, which had shrunk to the space between his shoulder and the stone, now expands to its full, majestic emptiness. He is not Sisyphus the condemned. He is Sisyphus the contemplative. As he descends, he notices things. He sees a tiny, pale flower, no bigger than his thumbnail, growing in the shelter of a small outcrop of rock. It has survived, somehow, in this sterile world. Its petals are almost translucent, a whisper of life in a landscape of stone. He pauses, looking at it, not with sadness or longing, but with a simple, quiet appreciation. It is there. He is there. For a moment, they share the same silent existence. He feels the different textures of the ground beneath his bare feet, the soft, powdery dust, the smooth, worn stone, the occasional patch of small, loose pebbles that shift and whisper as he walks over them. Each step is a new sensation, a small, tactile conversation with his world. He looks at his hands. They are calloused and strong, but in the soft light, he sees the intricate network of lines and creases. They are not just tools for pushing. They are a part of him. He flexes his fingers, feeling the effortless play of muscle and bone. This body, this vessel of his consciousness, is his own. In this moment, walking down the hill, it belongs to no one but him. This descent is the space between the notes, the silence that gives the music its meaning. The upward struggle is the toil, the labor, the given circumstance of his life. But the walk down is his. The gods decreed the pushing, but they forgot to decree how he should feel on the walk back. In their oversight, they gave him the gift of consciousness, of reflection, of freedom. He is lucid. He sees the whole of his condition. He knows the boulder is waiting at the bottom. He knows he will push it up again. He knows the cycle is unbreakable. And it is precisely this knowledge, this clear-eyed view of his absurd fate, that liberates him. He is not buoyed by false hope. He is not waiting for a reprieve. He is stronger than his rock because he is aware of it. This is his rebellion, not a furious fist-shaking rage against the heavens, but a quiet, profound, and ongoing revolt. He revolts by finding beauty in the pale flower. He revolts by feeling the texture of the path. He revolts by breathing the thin air of the summit. He revolts by choosing to walk down the hill, not as a condemned man returning to his chains, but as a master returning to his craft. Each step down is a step into himself. He is the lord of his own small, repeating tragedy, and in this ownership the tragedy ceases to be tragic. It simply is. It is the fabric of his reality, and he has decided to wear it not as a shroud, but as a royal robe. One must imagine Sisyphus happy. Not a giddy, smiling happiness, but a deep, resonant contentment. The happiness of a man who has found his place in the universe, even if that place is at the foot of a hill with a boulder he must push for all time. His joy is a secret he keeps from the gods. It is the subtle, powerful joy of knowing your fate and embracing it with open arms, of saying yes to the entire absurd spectacle. And so it is with us. In the quiet of our own lives, we all have our boulders. They may not be made of stone. They may be the gentle, insistent weight of the everyday, the alarm clock that rings in the gray light of dawn, pulling you from the warm depths of sleep, the morning ritual of coffee and news, the journey to work, a river of humanity flowing along the same channels, day after day, the tasks that fill our hours, the emails that must be answered, the meals that must be cooked, the conversations that must be had, the endless cycle of chores, of responsibilities, of duties. We push these boulders up our own hills, day after day. We strain with the effort, our minds focused on the task at hand, on reaching the small summit of the evening, the weekend, the holiday. And we succeed. We reach the top. The day is done, the project is finished, the children are asleep, and for a moment the boulder is at rest. And then it rolls back down. The alarm clock is set again. The new day waits at the bottom of the hill, with the same weight, the same path to be climbed. It is a cycle as relentless and as absurd as that of Sisyphus. And in the face of this absurdity, this endless repetition in a universe that offers no ultimate explanation, no grand, divine purpose for our pushing, the human spirit is presented with a choice. It is a quiet choice, often made without us even realizing we are making it. We find ourselves standing at a crossroads in the soft twilight of our own understanding. 3 paths stretch before us. Let us walk down the first path for a while, just to see where it leads. This path is soft and inviting. It is lined with moss that muffles your footsteps, and the air grows cool and misty. You can hear a sound in the distance, a gentle, constant rushing, like a great river. As you walk, the edges of the world begin to blur. The sharp anxieties of your day, the specific weight of your own boulder, begin to dissolve. The mist clings to you, cool and damp, and it feels like a comfort, a release. This is the path of escape. It is the allure of the river of forgetting. The river, when you reach it, is wide and slow-moving. Its water is not clear, but milky and opaque, and it makes no sound as it flows. It promises to wash everything away, not just the struggle, but but the memory of the struggle. Not just the pain, but the consciousness that feels the pain. It offers a final, dreamless sleep. To step into this river is to cease to be, to dissolve your awareness into the great, undifferentiated flow of nothingness. It is the choice to say, "This is too much. This is meaningless. I will not play this game." It is the ultimate refusal. Some find this path through a literal end, a final turning away. Others find it in a sleep of the soul, while the body still moves. They numb themselves with distraction, with noise, with anything that will drown out the quiet, persistent question of their own existence. They build walls within their own minds to keep the absurdity at bay. They leap into the river, hoping to be carried away from the foot of their hill. It is a tempting path. It promises peace, but it is the peace of the void. It is an escape not just from the suffering, but from the joy. It is a denial of the very consciousness that makes life, in all its strangeness, so precious. To choose this path is to let the gods win, to concede that the punishment is, indeed, unbearable. So let us turn back from the misty banks of the river of forgetting. The air grows clearer again as we retreat, the sound of the water fades, and we find ourselves back at the crossroads. Now, let us explore the second path. This one is different. It is paved with smooth, white stones, perfectly set. It leads into a walled garden. The gate is open, and as you step inside, a profound sense of order and peace settles upon you. Everything here has its place. The trees are pruned into perfect geometric shapes. The flower beds are arranged in intricate patterns of color. A gentle, harmonious music, seemingly from no source, hangs in the air. This is the stone garden of faith. In this garden, everything has a meaning. The gardener, though you cannot see him, is said to be all-knowing and benevolent. Every leaf, every stone, has been placed according to his grand design. The struggle, the boulder, the hill, they are not absurd. They are a test, a lesson, a part of a divine plan that you cannot fully comprehend, but in which you can place your absolute trust. The suffering has a purpose. The toil will be rewarded in a life beyond this garden. To walk this path is to make a leap. It is to close your eyes and fall into the arms of a higher power, a grand narrative, a promised meaning. It is to say, "I cannot bear the silence of the universe, so I will fill it with this beautiful story. I cannot accept the absurdity of my task, so I will believe it as a sacred duty." This path offers immense comfort. It transforms the boulder from a punishment into a key, a way to unlock a future paradise. It gives a reason for every bead of sweat, every aching muscle. The weight is still there, but it is no longer a meaningless weight. It is the price of salvation. Many walk this path, and they find a deep and abiding peace in its symmetry and its promise. They tend their small part of the garden, confident in the wisdom of the unseen gardener. But this, too, is a form of escape. It is an escape from the terrifying freedom of a universe without inherent meaning. It requires you to sacrifice your own reason, your own clear-eyed perception of the world as it is, in favor of the world as you wish it to be. You trade your lucid freedom for a comfortable servitude. You place your hope in a tomorrow that may never come, and in doing so, you risk missing the reality of today. It is a beautiful, comforting story, but it is a story told to oneself, to avoid the stark, silent truth. You have not conquered the absurd. You have merely papered over it with beautiful wallpaper. And so, with respect for those who find solace here, we turn back from the perfect garden. We step out of the gate, leaving the harmonious music behind, and find ourselves once more at the quiet crossroads. One path remains. It does not look like much. It is not soft and misty, nor is it perfectly paved. It is a simple, winding dirt track, the kind you might find on any ordinary hill. It is covered in 1,000 small, unremarkable pebbles. It leads not to a river or a garden, but back into the very landscape of the struggle itself. This is the path of revolt. It seems the least promising of the three, yet it is the path of Sisyphus on his walk down the hill. To choose this path is to look the absurd squarely in the face and not flinch. It is to accept the truth of the first path, that the universe is silent and offers no ultimate meaning, and the truth of the second path, that the human heart longs for meaning, and to hold both these truths in your hands at the same time, without contradiction and without despair. To walk this path is to find your freedom not by escaping the struggle, but by diving into it more deeply. It is a rebellion, but not a rebellion of anger or violence. It is a rebellion of passion, of attention, of love for the life you have been given, precisely because it is the only one you have. Let us walk this path. Your feet feel the earth. You bend down and pick up one of the 1,000 pebbles. It is gray and ordinary. But look closer. See the tiny flecks of mica that glitter in the pale light. Feel its texture, smooth in some places, rough in others. Feel its weight, its coolness in your palm. In this one, single, meaningless pebble, there is a universe of sensory detail. To pay attention to this pebble, to truly see it for what it is an act of revolt. It is to say, I will not be overwhelmed by the scale of my meaningless task. I will find my meaning right here, in the small, tangible reality of this moment. The revolt is to live life with passion. This does not mean a life of high drama or constant excitement. It means to live with an intensity of feeling and experience. It is to taste your food, to truly feel the warmth of the sun or the coolness of the rain on your skin, to listen to music as if it were the last sound you would ever hear, to look into the eyes of another person and see the world contained within them. It is to love fiercely, to feel sorrow deeply, to laugh from the belly, to engage with the world with your entire being. You have this one, finite, precious quantity of life. The passionate revolt is to burn that fuel brightly, to live as much as possible within the time you have. The revolt is to live with freedom. This is not the freedom from responsibility, but the freedom of the mind. It is the freedom Sisyphus feels on his walk down the hill. You are free from the burden of hope, which chains you to the future. You are free from the illusions of the gods or grand plans. You are free to create your own values, to decide what is important to you. You are the sole author of your own moral code. This freedom is terrifying, for it comes with total responsibility. But it is also exhilarating. You are the king or queen of your own small, absurd kingdom. And the revolt is to live against the grain of meaninglessness itself. The greatest rebellion against a universe that will one day forget you ever existed is to live a full, rich, and compassionate life. It is to create, to build something, to write something, to nurture a plant, to raise a child, to help a stranger. These acts have no eternal significance. The sandcastle you build will be washed away by the tide. But the act of building it, the joy and concentration of the moment, is a victory against the void. It is a small, beautiful fire lit in the heart of a vast, cold darkness. Walking this third path, you realize that happiness is not a destination to be reached at the top of the hill. It is not a reward for your labor. Happiness is the texture of the path itself. It is the feeling of your muscles working. It is the brief moment of rest at the summit. It is the quiet contemplation on the way down. It is the pale flower growing in the rocks. You do not need the river of forgetting, because you do not wish to forget the richness of your own experience, even the painful parts. You do not need the stone garden of faith, because you have found the courage to create your own meaning in a world that offers none. You need only what you have: your body, your senses, your consciousness, and the world in front of you. This is the philosophy of the absurd, translated into a bedtime story. It is the understanding that life is a beautiful, tragic, and comical contradiction. We are mortal beings trapped in a universe that does not care, yet we are blessed with a consciousness that can find beauty, love, and meaning in the fleeting moments of our existence. Let us return now to Sisyphus. He has reached the bottom of the hill. The air here is thicker, the silence deeper. The great, round boulder is waiting for him, still and patient. It is like an old friend, a familiar presence. He runs his hand over its cool, smooth surface. He knows this stone better than he knows anything. He knows its balance, its weight, its very soul. He does not sigh, he does not weep. He looks up the long, patient slope of the hill, his home. He looks at the boulder, his companion. He feels the strength in his own limbs. And he smiles, a small, knowing, secret smile. Then he sets his shoulder to the stone. He plants his feet in the dust. And with the slow, rhythmic breath of a man who is utterly at peace with his own destiny, he begins to push. And as he begins his slow ascent, let us leave him to his work, to his quiet rebellion, to his profound and simple happiness. Let the image of him fade, and turn your attention inward now, to the quiet landscape of your own being as you lie here, ready for sleep. Your own boulder, the day that has just passed, has been pushed to its summit. The tasks are done. The conversations have ended. The efforts have been made. For this brief, precious time, you stand at the top of your own small hill. The weight is gone. You are, in this moment, unburdened. And now begins your own slow descent. The gentle, peaceful walk down the hill into the valley of sleep. Feel the lightness in your limbs. The effort of the day is draining away, leaving behind a pleasant, humming warmth. Your muscles, which have worked and strained, can now release. Let them go soft. Feel a wave of relaxation begin at the tips of your toes, a gentle, warm current that flows slowly upward. It soothes your feet, which have carried you along your path today. It calms your ankles and your calves. It releases the tension in your knees and the great, strong muscles of your thighs. You pushed your boulder with these legs, and now they can rest. Let them become heavy, heavy and deeply relaxed, sinking into the surface beneath you. This gentle wave of peace flows up into your hips, your lower back, releasing the core of your strength. Allow your stomach to be soft. Your entire lower body is now at ease, resting in the quiet gravity of the moment. Your breath is your guide on this downward path. Notice it, just as Sisyphus notices the flower. Do not try to change it. Simply observe its natural, easy rhythm. The gentle rise of your chest and abdomen on the in-breath. The soft, complete release on the out-breath. Each breath out is another step down the hill, another layer of the day dissolving. Inhale peace. Exhale the memory of the struggle. The wave of relaxation continues its journey. It flows up your spine, vertebra by vertebra, unknotting the small tensions of the day. It spreads across your shoulders, melting away the place where you carry your own boulder. Feel your shoulders drop, releasing a weight you may not have even known you were carrying. This peaceful feeling flows down your arms, past your elbows, into your forearms, your wrists, your hands, and all the way to the tips of your fingers. Your hands, which have grasped and held and worked all day, can now lie open and still. They have done enough. Their work is over for now. The warmth spreads across your chest, calming your heart, which beats with a slow, steady, reassuring rhythm, a drumbeat for your descent into rest. It rises into your neck, releasing the muscles that hold your head, and it flows into your head itself. It softens your jaw. It relaxes your cheeks. It smooths the tiny muscles around your eyes. Let your eyelids be heavy, like soft velvet curtains closing on the day. It smooths your brow, erasing the lines of concentration and worry. Your entire face is soft, serene, and at peace. You are walking down your hill. Each breath is a step. The world of the day, with its demands and its noise, is fading into a soft, distant landscape. You are lucid. You know that tomorrow another boulder will wait, another day will dawn. But that is a thought for another time. It has no power over you now. Now is your time, your freedom, your kingdom. In this quiet space between waking and sleeping, you are the master of your own consciousness. You can choose to notice the simple, profound sensations of this moment. The feeling of the blankets against your skin, the gentle weight of your own body, the quiet sounds of the room, the house, the world outside. These are the pebbles on your path. Acknowledge them with a gentle, passing awareness. They are real. They are here. And so are you. You do not need to escape. You do not need to hope for a better dream. You need only to accept this moment, exactly as it is. This is your quiet revolt against the chaos of the world. To find a sanctuary of peace, not by running away, but by being fully, calmly present. Think of the vast, silent universe outside your window. The stars burning with ancient light, the galaxies turning in a slow, cosmic dance. It is immense and indifferent and beautiful. And you, lying here, are a tiny, fleeting, miraculous part of it. A brief flicker of awareness in the grand, silent scheme. What a strange and wonderful thing to be. Your thoughts may still arise, like small clouds drifting across the twilight sky of your mind. Do not fight them. Do not cling to them. Just watch them as they come and go. They are not you. You are the sky, vast and calm, and the thoughts are merely weather passing through. A memory of the day. A plan for tomorrow. A fleeting worry. Let them drift by. Your only task now is to breathe, to rest, to descend. The path is growing softer now. The way down is becoming easier with every step, with every breath. You are walking deeper into the valley of stillness, where the body can heal and the mind can find its quiet. Remember the happiness of Sisyphus. Not a loud joy, but a deep, abiding peace that comes from accepting reality as it is. He found his contentment not in changing his fate, but in changing his relationship to it. In this moment, you can do the same. You can accept the day that has passed. You can accept the night that is here. You can accept the body that is resting and the mind that is quieting. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go, no one to be. Simply rest. The edges of your consciousness are beginning to soften, to blur, like a watercolor painting in the rain. The story is dissolving. The words are becoming sounds, and the sounds are becoming silence. You are drifting now on a slow, gentle river. But it is not the river of forgetting. It is the river of sleep. It does not erase you. It restores you. It carries you gently through the quiet hours of the night so that you may be ready when the time comes to greet your boulder in the morning. But not with resentment, not with despair. You will greet it as Sisyphus does, with the quiet strength of a person who understands the rules of the game, with the calm rebellion of a mind that finds its freedom not in the outcome but in the process, with the secret smile of one who has learned to find happiness in the struggle itself. One must imagine you too happy. And now, let go. Let the last thoughts drift away. Let the story end. Let the silence hold you. The hill is far behind you now. You are in the deep, peaceful valley. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, let yourself drift. Sleep now. Sleep. Sleep.